I'm Bruce Porter from the NLX Extra Mile podcast. I want to welcome you today, along with Dan Dorney here from Elevated Payments. Dan, thank you very much for coming on. Dan does credit card processing. After the pandemic, people really understood the value of accepting credit cards online more so than ever.
Absolutely.
But for the most part, people, small to mid-sized businesses, Dan, that accept credit cards today, I don't think they understand what they're being charged or, what that statement actually entails. Why don't you tell the audience, what they should be looking for?
So we see a lot when we audit a statement. Now, we analyze a statement. I have a team of analysts that will take a look at the statement, and we break it down line by line. I always tell the business owner, I just need a statement. I can tell a lot just by that 1 month statement. We've asked for up to 3 statements to see if we're catching something, I don't want to say shady, but something they might not have asked for going on through the months and catch them in something.
And are these things that you're looking for, are they part of the original contract they signed with the vendor?
It's part of the original contract.
Okay.
It falls under the old, well, you told us not to put it on.
I got you. Okay.
So a charge to print the bill, a charge to mail the bill. Okay. I've seen them up to $15 a month. So the first thing I'll do, analyze the statement, double check by an entire team, go back with the 2 options. The 2 options I've mentioned on the earlier podcast, which is a cash discount option, the pass the fee, or the standard interchange plus, where we get you the lowest rates that we can get you. And it's up to you to take them. I can only show you how much I can save you. Now, if you want to stay with who you have,
right?
I don't know how else to convince you without facts and numbers.
It would behoove them. It would behoove them to have you take a look at their statement, okay, so that you can identify the areas that you can save the money.
Right, and it's at no cost. I don't charge
for that.
to look over your statement. I
So
don't charge. You'll never get a bill from me.
Okay.
For doing anything.
Okay.
You're in a pinch. You need. I helped one the other day. He ran out of paper. Didn't come in yet. I always store a box in my office.
Ran out of paper for what? The printer?
The terminal. The printer
terminal.
paper.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
So it takes a specific thermal paper. You run over. You drop off 3-4 rolls.
Okay.
That'll get them until this thing. But as far as the statement goes, I can lead off by saying this is how much I can save you. This is how much I can put back in your pocket if you were to use us the same month of the statement that you gave us. By the way, if you don't go with us, you might want to call because they're charging you $15 a month to print and mail your statement. And I'll hear, I just get it emailed. I get a PDF.
You got me thinking now because, with my credit cards, I still get credit card statements in the mail, and I'm wondering now if my credit cards are charging me.
If they're charging you.
So now
$5, $10 to print it.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait to go back and check this out.
So that's another, that's a big part of what I try and do because it's building trust.
Right.
Now, I don't tell everyone, if you don't want to go with us, ... But I said, you got to at least take a look at what you're doing now. And the fact that I caught it would hopefully convince them that, we're a credible source to be processing
I think that's a no-brainer. My question would be is, on average, what do you think you save a typical business with credit card processing fees?
Well, if we're going to go by what they call the interchange plus, which everyone's used to seeing if they're looking at statements or take credit cards, they'll see, they'll pay 3.5% to 4.5%, per transaction. So when I look at a statement, I can see how many transactions you have, how much those transactions brought in, but also how much you paid, the merchant paid on those transactions. We've negotiated them down to 2 to 2.5%.
And what is it? That sounds pretty low. What is the industry standard? When you say you negotiated it down, what was it at, do you think?
Maybe 3.5, 4.
Okay. All right. So there's a considerable savings there over time.
Right. If you go with the, the cash discount, our pass the fee program, where the customer would absorb the credit card fees, which you see in a lot of restaurants. You see,
but they have to. Now, you just brought up a real sore point with me. Okay,
yeah, I know,
because if you're going out for dinner, or I go into a deli and I see that they're charging me 30 cents or 50 cents for a transaction on a credit card, that rubs me the wrong way right there.
It should,
okay.
And the restaurant should be called out for it. It needs to be properly displayed so customers can see that.
Oh, so they can't do that.
They've been working on a law that it should be in, the vestibule of the restaurant as you're walking in. It should be. I think it should be on the menu.
Okay.
If you use, because there's some place they'll put at the bottom of the receipt, and you got to find it. Okay. Using a debit card, it's 4%.
And is that acceptable in compliance? That's
allowed? Yeah,
it's allowed. Just to put it on.
But it needs to be on. Oh, is it acceptable to be on the receipt? Well, maybe the bill when they give you the bill.
Okay.
Before you swipe.
All right. Because a lot of people don't look.
That's a tough one because you're not going to be. Who knows if you're carrying that cash?
Exactly. Exactly.
So I know they've been fighting. Hopefully they've gotten it through. That it needs to be properly displayed.
Okay.
Mostly in the restaurants because you see it. I see it a lot of other places. We have auto body shops. They just stick it right on the front.
At an auto body shop, you can't
put it in handwriting.
You can't get out of an auto body shop for less than $1,000.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So $1,000, 3% is $30.
Yeah.
So, but $30. I mean, they're making $1,000. $30. They should be eating that cost. They shouldn't be passing that along to the client.
That's up to the merchant. Like I said, I said earlier, the merchant. Some merchants don't go with the pass the fee because they owe it to their customers who kept them afloat.
Right.
Especially during COVID.
Right.
Something with a lower ticket price. We've talked about food trucks. We talked about pizza joints.
Right.
An extra 12 cents.
Well, that adds up. Well, hang on. If you're selling, look, and again, I know pizza has fluctuated since the pandemic, but let's just say, for argument's sake, a pizza is $3 a slice, just for argument's sake. And I know in New York, there's some places that are $5 a slice or $7 a slice, but just for $3 a slice. I mean, if you sell 1,000 slices, it's 30. Wait, is it 30 cents? Is it the same price for? Is it the same price for a slice of pizza for the charge? Or is it 2.5% or 3% for the total sale? Or is there a charge for?
Well, if they do $3 a slice.
Okay.
Cash or credit. I got cash. $3.
Right.
And you go, you know what? I'll just use my debit card. Now, they should have a sign up if you're using a debit or credit card. A fee of 4% will be added.
Okay.
You should see it. Yeah, I'm a consumer at the same time I'm pushing credit card processing. So I look out for it even more.
Okay.
So it needs to be somewhere where they can see it.
Okay, visual. Okay.
Yeah. You want to word it however you want. To our cash paying customers, we're going to give you a 4% discount.
Right, but technically that's not a 4% discount. Because they shouldn't be charging. They shouldn't be
charging.
How
they word it, yeah. Okay. You want to go to a tavern and they want to call it a COVID recovery fee.
It's semantics. Yeah. Okay.
I'm not the moral police.
I got you. Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know because a lot of people don't realize that, and I see that all over. And I think by you educating the audience, they understand that better because education in that process right there, they can go in and tell the business owner or the establishment, the person who owns the establishment, say, look, you're charging me, 30% or 30 cents, you know what I'm saying, on a transaction, and I'm spending, whatever, $20 here.
Yeah.
I don't think that's fair,
It's and you shouldn't really put on the public to feel they need to ask.
Okay, right.
Guys, make sure you ask your waiter if they charge. And it's not the waiter.
Right. No, and I hope
don't take it out on the waiter.
Yeah, I was just going to say you brought up a very good point because if they know if that's published,
it's going to affect their tip.
It's going to affect their waiter's tip, and the waiter has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so I make sure they all know. Make it visible.
Right.
Right.
Because
I love mechanics. They're very proud to go. If you pay cash.
right.
Dodging tax,
Right.
Maybe just want to put it towards his employees.
Well, you don't want to do anything
illegal.
They shouldn't be doing anything illegal either.
No, I'm not saying anyone.
No, because, you know.
I saw in a movie.
Right, exactly. Oh, gosh. All right. It's
but
all
yes,
good.
it should be, what I could get across is any kind of cash discount or passing the fee, whatever kind of program that any vendor wants to use, I would highly advise that to be prominently displayed somewhere that the customer can see it. It leaves the option. As far as vendors, look at your statement, call me, and I'll go over the statement with you. Give it to me, and I'll break it down, and I'll explain it all to you. None of this is charged. This is a no cost. This is what I do.
You'll do that for anybody that calls you?
I'll come over and do it.
Wow.
You're nearby.
That's great service. That's local. Great service.
It's good to know what you're spending money on. If you're used to seeing $400 a month from a credit card processing company, don't get used to it. Have me look at it, because.
Well, let me ask you this. You just brought up a good point. Has there ever been a customer that you couldn't save money?
Oh yeah.
Oh really? So they're getting really good rates right now.
The most recent is he just wasn't doing enough.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
So I explained everything to him. There was money to be saved.
Right.
Was it enough for him to switch? No, he wanted to use Venmo.
Okay.
Which is going to creep up on him anyway, because Venmo's catching on, and they're going to start taxing you.
Absolutely.
Anyway. Some other things that I'll find is with the larger, well-known companies is they're leasing terminals.
Oh, okay. So they pay a monthly fee for that then?
They're paying a monthly fee.
Okay.
Now I'd say a typical contract for credit card processing, I think they set them about 3 years. So I found that this one specific store owner, after his 3 years, was spending upwards to, I'll say, $3,600 for a terminal.
Right.
To swipe, print, and have someone sign.
Okay.
It's $3,600. Probably $250 to $300 terminal.
Okay.
$300. He's paying $3,600. I ask him, why are you doing this? He's convinced it's insured under warranty. If I drop it, if I break it. I go, warranty is completely different than insurance, first of all.
Right.
Second of all, I was telling him, with the volume that you're doing, I'd give you a terminal. You want to, you accidentally drop in a bucket of water while you have it near it, I'll never be able to understand. We'll work to get you another one.
Right.
The leasing is
okay.
I'm amazed how one, they get away with it, and two, people don't catch on to it.
No, but
it's because they don't know,
and they get in a comfort zone. They get in a comfort zone.
And it's not,
I fall prey to that too myself. When you get in a comfort zone and you have something, change is sometimes hard to accept.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And all of a sudden, the fear of the learning curve. My God, what's this going to do to my systems now? They have all of these fears, and right away they don't realize that things are made more simplistic. You know what I'm saying? Can help them better.
Yeah, and I don't want to say it's their fault. It's not their fault they pay to lease an inexpensive terminal. But it's good that you said that, because that's my approach to the businesses that I talk with.
Okay.
The fear of change, the simplicity of converting over to maybe a different software, the conversion. When there's an issue, they're not going to get, Muskrat Love Muzak playing on the phone. They're going to call my 908 number and get me on the phone.
That's huge.
They're not calling. Do I love it when one calls me 2 a.m. on St. Patty's Day because their terminal's
No, but that's the level of customer service
you provide. That's what I have to do.
That's it. Okay. Well, look, Dan, this is great information right here, and I'm shocked that you can, accept phone calls. So if anybody out there who's got a terminal right now accepting payments online, it would be in your best interest to give Dan a call to go over your statement at no charge whatsoever, okay? And let him see if he could save you money. And if he can't save you money, there's no harm, no foul.
Be on your way.
Dan, that's great. So how do people get in touch with you, Dan? Why don't you tell them?
Get in touch with me on my LinkedIn. It's under Dan Dorney. I'm using the short version. Only my grandma calls me Daniel.
Is that D-O-R-N-E-Y?
D-O-R-N-E-Y.
Okay, Dorney, all right.
They can also go to elevatedpayments.io. My email is dan@elevatedpayments.io.
Okay.
You know what? Give me a call, 908-917-9127.
There you go. That's 908.
And no creepy text messages. Camera 1, camera 2. You both got me.
Okay. Say it one more time. 908?
908-917-9127.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Okay. We're at the NLX Extra Mile podcast. This is Bruce Porter with Dan Dorney, and we're signing off. See you again for more informational videos. Take care.
Thank you.